Well, Pete Denahy here at Gympie Muster 2006 with Chad Morgan, and you got the special red suit out for the occasion, Chad.
Oh yes, Pete, yes, I've got to make a statement.
Yeah.
Give Gympie a bit of a stir.
And I hear you got the old, one of your old guitars here this time too.
Yeah, I brought the D35 Martin out just to give it a bit of a... I haven't used it for a couple of years, and I thought this would be a good place. It's sort of back 25 years and a lot of memory and stuff, so I thought, well, I'll use it. It was nice to feel the old acoustic thumping against your ribs too.
Yeah, I bet it. Yeah. It sounded good last night, main stage. How'd it feel walking out there?
Oh, great,
Yeah, because you've just done the... And then you came to did the tavern today as a smaller crowd.
So.
Yeah, so...
But although I like the smaller crowds because it's more more personal, up close and personal. And I prefer smaller crowds.
And when you're working, say, crowds like this, outdoor crowds, do you like, or as opposed to playing in a hall, do you like seeing the audience, or do you like it when it's black?
Oh no, if I don't see the audience, I can't work properly because I work to people's faces and I pick out somebody in the audience, I'll work to them, and then I'll pick out somebody else and I'll work to them. And I have some blues in doing shows in halls and clubs. You'll just start and they'll turn out the bloody lights, and then I've got to stop and scream and get them to... some of them you can say, right now, I want the house lights on all the time. That's okay, but somebody else will come up and switch it off. Oh.
And what about hecklers?
Oh, I don't mind them. I soon fix them.
Do you?
Yeah, they don't worry me.
Yeah. Any good heckling stories?
Oh, yeah, but I keep them for hecklers.
Because, I know. Because I know some people like working with a black room, but
I know a lot of people who's surprised me that they can't work without a spotlight in their eyes and a room black as pitch. That's like singing on the radio to me.
Yeah.
You might as well be because there's nobody there, is there?
Yeah. And with the old Martin, are you miking it up, or you got to pick up in it?
I've got to pick up in it.
Yeah.
I used to mic it, but when I was doing my own shows, doing my own sound, I could mic it perfect. But it gets a place like this, and you'd be surprised how many so-called technicians can't even mic an acoustic guitar.
Yeah. So you would have had a few guitars over the years?
Oh, not that many. This is my third Martin. I've had a couple of Ovations, and I've had two Matons and two Gibsons.
Oh, righto.
Oh, a Kalamazoo and a Gibson.
Yeah, right. And is it right? One of your Martins got busted a few years ago.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Oh, got busted in an aeroplane.
Oh.
Yeah, and they wouldn't, just smashed it and couldn't claim off. They said, oh, there's $50 or something. So this most they'll give you or something.
Yeah.
So I just didn't ever flown on that line again.
Yeah, it's a constant battle, that. And where to after this, Chet?
Well, I go to a little place called Millmerran and do a show there with my partner, Gordon Larkin. And then from there, I've got to go down to the Gippsland in Victoria and do one show, a birthday party.
Oh, right.
And then I come straight back from that, and I start off a tour at Blackwater, out from Emerald. And from there, I head out as far as Longreach, and then turn around and come back down through Blackall, Roma, and I'll go out to Cunnamulla. Yeah. And back round through Bolland, St George, and back home again.
And do you take your own PA and everything when you go? Yeah. So it's all sort of compact.
Yeah.
It's a bit different from the days of the trucks and the caravans.
No, well, in the days of the caravans, the PAs, it makes me laugh when I see what they use today. Slim, when I first started, we went out together. We had a crystal microphone, a little crystal microphone on a stand, and a 10-watt amp.
Yeah.
And four little 8-inch speakers. That was a big sound. No, nothing for the guitar. You just lift your guitar up and played it. That's why you might notice Slim always played his guitar up real high.
Yeah.
The strap right up there. Well, that's from the old days, from
getting into the mic. Oh yeah. So, and it was pretty loud, like the volume out the front would get loud?
Yeah, you'd be surprised what you can punch out with 10 watts. And because those old halls were very echoey, and you didn't need much in them. We'd get people saying, "Oh, turn it down, it's too loud, you know." And now they come up with 1,000 watts or a couple of 1,000 watts, and I think, "Oh my God, what's it for?" You know.
And was there much difference, say, in the audiences? Say when you get out and you do, you know, the Chic and all your sort of well-known songs. Is there much difference in the crowds now as opposed to back then?
Exactly the same.
Are they?
Yeah, exactly the same.
Laugh at the same
My
things.
songs have never changed, and neither has my audience.
Yeah, but I mean, you've got like your audience sort of remains young too, don't they?
That's the beauty of it. I've got 5 generations coming to shows, and it's terrific to see. I get a terrific kick when you see little kids 4 and 5 sitting down the front, singing all your songs, singing with you. You know, it's terrific. Yeah.
And what about recording, Chad? You still?
I'm still recording. Yeah, I don't go through any record companies. They rob me right, left, and centre. So I just got this. About 6 weeks ago, I got a cheque from EMI. 5 years where they'd missed out. $6 grand, 5 years where they hadn't paid me. Yeah, they'd missed.
So how do you explain that to the tax man?
Well, I just had to declare it, of course, but you got no way of checking on them. See, you don't know what they. I make them myself and sell them myself, and that's it. Yeah.
And do you get people coming up to you saying, "Oh, I've got a song that'd really suit you, Chad"?
All the time, and I take them all because often I get one that I like, and then I'll put a tune to it, or sometimes they've already got a tune. But as you know, there's a lot of rubbish out there too.
And do you ever keep the rubbish ones just to?
I keep them just to look at and laugh.
Yeah. But you do most of your own writing.
Yeah, I'm not so much now. I don't have time. I'm just busy touring, and I've got no time for anything much.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing, isn't it? I mean, most people get to 65 and they're retired,
and then at 67 they die.
Yeah.
Or have a heart attack or something.
Yeah. Get around and see the country you've been seeing for years.
Yeah.
But. Say with you, what's the sort of process when you write a song? Is it different for every song, or do you have a method? Or
no, something will come into my head and I'll just grab something and write it down. Sometimes a tune will come into my head and I say, I'll put some words to that. Or other times words will come into my head and I'll put a tune to it. But lots of times, most of my older songs, I used to write. I'd wake up 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, couldn't sleep, and a song would be in my head, and I'd jump up and get a piece of paper and write down the words. And I used to, if I had a tape recorder, I'd strum a tune and put it on. But otherwise, I'd write a tune for it next day.
Yeah. And is it always comic stuff? Have you written any straight stuff?
I only ever written one straight one.
Yeah, right. So when you've written a new song, do you? What's the process there? Do you road test it a bit? Do you give it a X amount of shows?
No, if I like it, I put it on. If I don't like it, I don't.
That's how it goes. Yeah.
So it's just if I like it or if I don't.
Yeah, and it's initially got to be an idea that amuses you, obviously.
If it amuses me, then it's pretty. Well, it's got a good chance of amusing other people.
Yeah, because
if it appeals to my horrible sense of humour, well, there's something there. So.
And do you have any sort of favourite subjects when you're writing a song, or just anything?
Whatever, as long as there's a bit of humour in it.
Yeah. That's amazing.
The only thing I keep away from religion and politics.
Yeah.
Although I'm going to whack a couple of politicians in there.
Yeah,
some of the bastards deserve it. But I leave religion alone.
Yeah. So, because I've often thought about that over the years with your stuff. I mean, you've written so many songs, and I think, how do you keep coming up with the ideas? Because it's, I know writing my own stuff, I get, my head gets clogged up trying to think of something.
That's when you give it away.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You don't write all the time?
No. I only write when it comes to me.
Yeah.
If I sit down and try to write a song, I get, as you said, my head gets all clogged up and I can't write it.
Yeah.
I just got to leave it, and then all of a sudden, pop, it's there.
Yeah. And can you ride on the road? Do you ever find yourself riding?
Yeah, look. draw maps and all sorts of things.
Yeah, right.
That's what they call a road map.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I tell you what, Chad, you got to tell us where you got this suit. You don't have to.
No, I know.
It'd be nice if you did.
It's a goodie, isn't it?
It's a beauty.
I got a purple one.
Yeah.
I got the yellow one I had on yesterday. I got a green one. I got a blue one.
One for every day of the
I
week.
saw one in the shop where I got this the other day. I'm not going to buy it. It's a pink one.
Where did you did you get it made or?
No. Toucans.
Oh, righto.
Men's Outfitters. Yeah.
It's a fantastic suit.
Well, they're good stage suits.
Yeah. And light?
Oh, light, yeah, and you can wash them and just hang them up, no ironing, no nothing.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it on the road. You just wash them, hang them up, and they're dry next morning.
How'd you go with washing in the early days?
I never washed. The missus did that.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for them. Like, there was 90% of the place that there wasn't even a caravan park.
Yeah.
We'd pull in beside a hall, and they'd get in the kitchen of the hall and wash in the sink.
In the basin.
Yeah, in the sinks in the hall. Oh, bad. And sometimes we'd have to pull up on the side of a creek and get a big kerosene tin and fill it with water and boil it. And it's terrible.
And showering yourself too.
Oh yeah, it was. Then later on we got it. See, we didn't even when we started. There wasn't even refrigerators in the van. We used to have ice boxes. No stoves. We had metho stoves. And when you walk in the van, the stink of metho would knock you over.
Yeah.
Then in '59, Portugas come out. That made a hell of a difference, and because we got the Portugas fridges then. But as for the washing, that was still. And then I got one of the little Winnie Hoover washing machines, and that was all right where you had power. Where we didn't have power, what I did, I took a side off it, and I got an old starter motor, and I put a pulley on it, and I just stick it into the washing machine and put the belt on it and hook her up to the battery. She used to wash fast.
Oh, that's fantastic. And because all the stuff that we take for granted now, even whether or not you're touring doing a show, or just travelling in general, is so much easier. Yeah. Except for the price of fuel, I guess.
Oh, yes.
How are you finding that?
Well, I'm on gas, so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
But, it's jumped up from nothing too.
Yeah.
But I can remember them saying when they first they said. The politician said, gas will never go above 30 cents a litre. That's an ironclad promise. It'll never go over 30 cents a litre.
That's right, yeah. And what about when you come to festivals like this? Do you get a chance to get around and have a look at other?
No, I don't.
No. It's just
by the time I'm finished,
had enough.
Yeah.
Go home, yeah.
Tamworth's not quite as bad. I get a chance to see somebody there because I can drive around and.
Yeah.
But even there, by the time you finish what you're doing, you just want to get home and have a lay down anyway.
Yeah, it's sort of a unique position you're in though, because there aren't many young blokes coming along and doing an act that's.
Unfortunately, there's none that I know of that I could say was, which is sad, but someone might come along one day.
Yeah, because it's like an act like yours, which is just all comedy. And how long does your show usually go for? Or do you work for usually?
Here I've been doing an hour.
Yeah.
And I usually keep it around about the hour.
Yeah.
But on the road, I do two 40-minute spots. I do about an hour 20. That's enough standing up there. Yeah. Also, you can give people too much of, especially comedy. You can be there just a bit too long, you know.
Yeah.
Get on, give them a good whack, and then get off.
Yeah. Any sort of favourite places to play?
Well, up until now, wherever there was no smoking, but it's not so bad now because there's no smoking anywhere in Queensland, and New South Wales getting better. So.
Yeah, but do you sort of find some towns the audiences are better than others?
Oh, yeah.
And sort of consistently?
No, you'll find you can go into a venue and you'll have a terrific audience. Go back there in a month's time and you get a heap of deadbeats.
Yeah.
There's no consistency amongst them whatsoever.
Nights of the week have anything to do with it?
I don't think so. No, just dead shits
Everywhere.
Oh, that's very well. Anything else you want?
I think that might be it for the moment.
Yeah, it's sort of
noisy
pretty.
here.
Yeah.
We might wrap it up.
Yeah, okay, mate. Yeah.
Thanks, Jed. Oh, do you want to say something to Gordon Larkin?
Something about Gordon Larkin story?
Yeah, I mentioned him there before.
Gordon Larkin's a friend of Chad.
Yeah.
No, he tours with me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
So,
Just ask me what I have with my shows.
oh yeah. So you have who do you have on touring with you?
Well, there's only two of us. A mate of mine, Gordon Larkin. He's been with me, 15, 16 years now.
Yeah.
And he does his spot, comes on first, does a spot, and then I do a spot, and then we have an interval, and it goes on again. But Gordon, he sings, the good country.
Yeah.
Pure country. And a few of the later stuff, but he's a great yodeler. He's won the Queensland Yodeling Championships a couple of times.
Oh, has he?
Yeah.
So he's sort of like the straight side of.
Yeah, he's the straight side and I'm the comedy side.
Comedy
Yeah.
side. Oh, that's good. So you've been working together for a while?
Yeah, 14, 15 years,
Oh, yeah.
16 years or something like that. Yeah, it'll be 1990. Yeah, 16 years we've been together, yeah.
Oh, that's great. Well, how's that?
Well, we might wrap up.
Okay, doke.
And
Well,
we'll just see how this all comes out.
Yeah.
I was a bit worried about all the noise.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Chad.
No, it's a pleasure.
thanks,
Lovely.
Chad. You probably.